did not do was, after he realized that he had Biden beaten on policy and on image, he should have turned the page and sounded an optimistic note about what we can become as a people and as a country. He did not do that. He continued to pummel Joe Biden all night. I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the night, very few things about the policy exchanges is going to be remembered. People are going to remember Joe Biden. They're going to remember him shuffling out. They're going to remember him staring blankly into the camera. They're going to remember him looking down, losing his train of thought. And they're going to remember that everything I thought I knew, but the White House told me don't believe my own eyes, is actually true.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I said, Scott, was if Joe Biden were not the candidate, if there was another candidate, I think Donald Trump would be in deep trouble.
If I may, that is such a sad state of affairs. Something I was consistently hearing is, what a bad debate, in the sense that Donald Trump lied throughout. He misrepresented. He tried to turn away from key points that he should have given answers on, and kept deflecting. With any normal, generic Democrat next to him, I don't think he would have won the night. But you put somebody who was suffering from the moment that they got out. It was hard to watch. I had to occasionally look away because it was so uncomfortable. I think America deserves better than the options that are in front of them. It's really devastating. And by the way, our
is she actually just a Democrat now? I mean, is she? I don't know. Elizabeth Farrakhan, because I think of her like in my mind, that is my Trump deranged. I don't care how long you've been critical of him, you're still with him. You
Trump spoke plainly, but he lied the whole time. And he looked good, but his policies were terrible.
Yes, I
mean, he's going to do nothing on climate change. He was hugging the cactus on abortion. I mean, his policies are terrible. So you have somebody who probably shouldn't be president, and you have somebody who cannot be president in terms of what Donald Trump represents. So we have a problem as a country now, and this might be an opportunity for people to come together and figure this out, because neither one of those people right now are inspiring the confidence that they should inspire, that they can do the job in a way that would be good for the country.
But young voters are up for grabs in this election, and I don't know a voter under 30
voters,
who would have watched tonight and can say, I have confidence in Joe Biden and casting my vote for
23 points ahead with young voters.
And
I know young voters, I know Palestine, I know.
About if Joe Biden remains the candidate, you're not voting for Joe Biden. You are voting for President Kamala Harris. Let's be honest. That is where the Trump campaign is going to go with this. They started down this road with an ad they released today. But this conversation about who you're actually casting your vote for, the volume is going to ratchet up. And I got news for you. She's less popular than he is. That is going to be a big problem for the Democrats if this ticket stays the way it is.
Yeah, and a Scott's Democratic friend who maxed out, right? That's the sentiment you're going to hear, I think, from some of my Democratic friends who are texting me saying, I can't believe this is where we are, right?
Yeah.
I don't forgive. I'm not going to be able to forgive the party for putting in this position.
Look,
on the lies on Donald Trump's lies. I mean, I spent a lot of time thinking about this throughout the debate, because, we in the media, I sit in the chair and I fact check Trump all the time. So I know these lies by heart at this point. But people watching from home do not. And Biden's job, as the other person on the other side of the stage, is to be the one to very quickly dispense with the lies and to shut them down. And I don't think that happened enough times in a coherent way to blunt the fact that Trump was taking a universe that was built on a house of lies and building a whole world for the millions of people watching.
Particularly on some of the most basic subject matters that President Biden should have been able to just...
That world that he was able to build, it was not knocked down by
do
the
not
president.
let
That is really at the heart of the problem. He may have won when he was making his discrete policy points, but part of the job on the debate stage is dealing with an opponent like Donald Trump, who goes like a mile a minute on things that are not true. And if you don't deal with that,
Abby.
I don't know if no one at home is doing that.
All I want to say is I'm not sure. I don't think you're giving viewers enough credit. I think what they saw was the Trump that they didn't like. And I don't think he did himself a great service.
And I also think we should let voters absorb this and see what they say, right? Let's look at the dials. Let's look at where they are next week. We can make our pronouncements, but ultimately voters have to absorb
it. They're going to turn your mics off, guys.
Real quickly, on the one thing that Biden did fact check about, on the Charlottesville thing, he was completely wrong. Right, so he's up there talking about Charlottesville and Trump not denouncing the two sides, and Snopes was out last week 7 months, 7 years too late kind of thing on the deal. And that's the thing Joe Biden's going to fact check him on, something that was proven false.
We're gonna more with the panel out here. A lot of notable moments, painful moments from tonight, but as we've been talking about, perhaps a single defining one as well. This one early on.
You catch that Transpride? I knew Transpride Seattle is tomorrow night.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Shay Stevens. A CNN debate between incumbent President Joe Biden and presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump has concluded in Atlanta. The candidates fielded questions on a range of
okay, well, that's what you get for free.
That polls show are topping the minds of voters. When asked to address critics who say they're doing
CNN.
worse financially since he took office, Biden said that he inherited a
Now, of course, now that KOW is the same, see, people fuck up words. It's not, it's the low lighting. I'm like, they're really trying to put the lips on me. Okay.
mess.
Yes.
Reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination of what was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now.
Trump asserted that Biden erased economic gains made under his administration by allowing illegal migration.
Because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen.
Border. Yeah, no, we did hear that.
Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before.
The candidates wrapped up by disagreeing on who is most physically and mentally fit to lead the nation. The U.S. Supreme Court issued a series of important decisions today on everything from opioids to ozone pollution. Details from NPR's Nina Totenberg.
In the space of less than a half hour this morning, the justices invalidated a multi-billion-dollar opioid settlement. They put on hold an important EPA rule aimed at reducing ozone pollution. They temporarily allowed emergency abortions in Idaho in cases where the woman's health but not her life is in grave jeopardy. And finally, the conservative supermajority continued its march to curtail agency power, ruling that Congress exceeded its powers when it authorized the Securities and Exchange Commission to impose fines on financial wrongdoers. There'll be more decisions tomorrow and next week. Nina Totenberg, NPR News, Washington.
The Center for Investigative Reporting is suing ChatGPT, OpenAI, and its partner Microsoft for copyright infringement. As NPR's Bobby Allen reports, it's the latest in a growing list of legal cases against the AI company.
The nonprofit that runs the magazine Mother Jones and the investigative podcast Reveal says OpenAI has built a business on the exploitation of copyrighted works. It joins legal challenges filed by the New York Times, best-selling authors, and others, alleging that OpenAI has trained its AI systems by effectively engaging in mass theft. OpenAI counters that its guzzling up of data from all corners of the internet is protected by what's known as fair use law. Whether AI companies' data practices are protected by fair use is unsettled in the courts. Some news organizations have chosen to collaborate with OpenAI. striking licensing deals instead of taking the tech company to court.
I'm reading articles too. Nicholas Kristof said, I wish Biden would reflect on this debate performance and then announce his decision to withdraw from the race, throwing the choice of Democratic nominee to the convention. Someone like Gretchen Whitmer, Sherrod Brown, or Secretary Raimondo could still jump in and beat Trump. Melissa Farrah Griffin, former White House Director of Strategic Communications under Trump, said, hearing from countless viewers of all political stripes, and the consensus is Biden needs to be replaced. It's worse than I believe most people imagine.
U.S. futures are virtually unchanged in after-hours trading on Wall Street. This is NPR.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the George Lucas Educational Foundation.
Civil rights activist Demae McKesson said there's too much at stake to let the Democratic Party keep doing whatever the strategy, quote unquote, is that got us in this position tonight at this debate.
Hi, it's Libby Dangman.
Also in quotes.
Southside is just about to start here on KUOW. KUOW's growth and development reporter Joshua McNichols is here with me on our first day of the summer membership drive, and importantly, it's the
I'm just going to let Kate. This is my
during
contribution for.
Southside.
Thank you
So
for
I really wanna
KUOW
make
for
a
letting me
plea
use
right
your
at the
content.
start
I'm assuming
here
you are.
for folks
And
who
yes,
appreciate
you're like,
Southside,
wait,
our new time, and
is it June
Hip Hop
20?
listeners. We love you. We are so
Caught.
appreciative
Is
of
it
all the
June
time you spend with
27th
us,
and you're
and
sitting next to a heater? I do, and I also, this is a heater, but it's, which I also use as a space heater in the summertime because I'm always cold. I am always cold, but I am I have a fan over here and a heater over here. I'm an awful human being who's wasting electricity. I am the reason for climate change.
We just don't hear anywhere else. They're rooted in the
Caught.
Pacific Northwest, and local
That is
shows
actually
like
true, though.
Southside
I'm enjoying it. I feel like super cozy, warm over here.
rely on KUOW.
What is wrong with me?
For connection, and Soundside is here for you on a daily
Okay,
basis.
I
We're
cannot.
asking for your
I cannot
support
even.
right now at KUOW.org. Because
Oh,
we
and I
do
talked
have a
over it,
big
but it's
goal
not that
in front of us, Joshua. $10,000 during Soundside today, and we're going to take that bit by bit. And the way that you can start helping us out with that $10,000 goal is going to KUOW.org or 206-543-9595.
That's right, and we respect
Two
your
former
time
Uvalde
here.
police
That is
officers
why we're packing
indicted.
this whole lunch drive into
Indicted.
one day, basically. It's just or not one day.
Actually, I actually kind of like how the lips like.
It's 2 days.
Boy, it feels like one day.
I actually feel like
so
Lucy,
fast.
like might have meet a veteran. Like it doesn't. No, it like accentuates like
Precise and accurate
my
reporting
expression.
here at KUOW. That's what we do.
They do pretty good. Like it does.
Local, regional, and state elections, and it's part of your life here. In this community, it's kind of like your favorite sports team, or a reliable restaurant in your neighborhood that you love. You support those businesses.
I do.
Support your public radio station
Yes,
too. Your
okay.
local public radio station, because you rely on it. You rely on the accurate news that we provide here. Make a one-time gift today at KUOW.org. It could be $100 or $150 or $500, but it goes to our $300,000 summer membership campaign goal that we're trying to pack into 2 days. So go to KUOW.org to provide that kind of support.
Yeah, KUOW.org. I can't emphasize enough how much our team here at Soundside works to try to bring you a range of voices from across the state here in Washington. This is a place where you are going to be able to hear candidates for Attorney General, candidates for Governor, candidates who want your vote during this crucial election season. We're going to talk more politics later this hour, but most of all the shows here at KUOW are wonderful. They're NPR and KUOW collaborations for the most part that bring you stories that matter to you and your communities. But most of all, because it's Soundside, because this is the 1 hour during the drive that Soundside is asking for your support, I want you to think about the value of a completely locally produced show. Because across the country, there are a lot of these types of shows that are sunsetting. These stations are getting into budget.
A connection lost. Audio resume when reconnected. Okay. No, yeah, I don't get it. What? Look at those poo-poos. Yeah, look at you. You're kidding.
I don't get good reception in this room.
shows many of them are not surviving. Now, Soundside stays strong because people like you who listen understand the difference of local programming and
Okay, this isn't much of a show because nothing. Yeah, no, okay. Well, this is what a pity party looks like. I still am enjoying my heater and my fan though, and I'm not gonna apologize for that.